Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lee, and I'm your HR Director, and I want to welcome you to our open enrollment meeting. This is our second open enrollment meeting. We had one today at P Street, and we're very excited because we've never had anyone come out to any of the sites and give an overview of the benefits that we offer. A little bit about our process getting here. In July, we signed on with the benefits broker, Employee One, and we did that for a couple reasons. We actually have a very large demographic in regards to our employees. They range from 25 to, is it 88 to 88. So we wanted to make sure that we have benefits that serve all of our employees. I did a lot of asking in my first year here, just what people wanted, what they wanted to see, what they didn't want to see, and I got a lot of great feedback. And I've taken that feedback and I've worked with Employee One to make some modifications to our existing benefit plans. Our benefit plans are not changing. We've just made some additions, enhancements that we hope that you'll like and take advantage of. So with that being said, I'm going to pass to Layla Shields. Layla is our account manager with Employee One, and she works very closely with myself and Tim Doyle on managing our benefits and our vendor relations. We are super excited, I think, about a lot of the changes that we're making, so I will pass to Layla, and she can give you the update.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for taking some time out of your afternoon to come listen to what your benefit plans are for the year. Some of the changes that we made, the first big change that we made is that we are moving to a January 1 benefit year. So we're going to have a calendar year benefit year going forward. So I know you just did an open enrollment over the summer, doing it again. We're going to do it through ADP again. This time we want everyone to go in and touch the system. I know over the summer, only if you were making changes, we asked you to go in. This time we want everybody to go in because we want to make sure that we have the cleanest data possible. So we want you to go in and check your addresses for us, check your dependents. You can add beneficiaries in for your life insurance policy and track that in ADP as well. So we want to make sure everybody goes into the system. It will be open from November 15th, almost at 30th, November 15th to December 5th for you all to go in and make these updates for us. Also, you will be receiving a benefit guide in the mail at your home addresses. It's going to have most of the information that we go over today included in it. It's going to have some additional details and some easier ways for you to compare the benefit plans. We're going to have all three medical plans together on one page for you to compare them instead of having to flip back and forth and look at separate pages. So that should help you a little bit in making your decisions. We also have some scenarios in there about the different plans and how they work. So our goal this year is to give you guys a lot of information and education on what the plans give you benefit-wise so that you can make a better decision, because you may not need to be on the most expensive plan. One of the other two plans we're offering might fit what your usage level is better. So we want you to be able to look at all of the options and make a good educated decision when the portal opens for you guys to go in and make your elections. Some of the things that are changing this year, aside from the calendar year, we added another plan to the Aetna options. So we have a PPO, a high deductible HSA plan, and then what we're calling a catastrophic plan, an even higher deductible plan. That one will have the lowest premiums coming out of your paycheck. That idea was put in place for the people that rarely use the medical benefits but still needed to have some sort of coverage. We enhanced the PPO dental plan with Delta, and we switched our IMED, our vision benefit over to IMED from Aetna. And there's a couple of really nice little perks that come along with that plan that I'll go over with you guys. And then we have a big slew of voluntary benefits. When LaRonda was asking for feedback, she had gotten a couple of things back from people saying that they were interested in benefits that you're not currently being offered. And so we went out to the market and we found some good options for you guys that we think will meet most of your needs and wants. What's staying the same, your current two Aetna plans are the exact same. They're not changing. Doctor networks aren't changing. So if you like those plans, you still have them, you can remain enrolled in them. Again, we're using the ADP portal, and your life and disability benefits have not changed. One of the big things we want you to think about this year is the HSA plan and whether or not that's a good option for you and your family and how you utilize your benefits, and also this catastrophic plan that we've added in this year. If you're a relatively healthy person and you rarely ever go to the doctor, the catastrophic plan or the HSA plan may be a great option for you guys to consider. In the earlier meeting, Miranda kind of made a point that most people think, oh, PPO, that's the best plan, I'm just going to get that one. Well, the other options are the same network and the same vendor and pretty much the same benefits, just the deductible differences in there. And the higher you get with your deductible, the lower your paycheck premiums are. So it's a good time to actually look and see, go back and look at your claims over the last year and look at your Aetna portal. If you haven't used the plan that much and you don't think or anticipate that you're going to use it that much this coming year, then maybe there's a lower paycheck deduction option included in this for you to try this year. So this plan is the current PPO plan. As I said, there's no changes to it. The current deductible on that for an individual is $300. For a family, it's $600. Okay. Your prescriptions are $7, $30, and $55 for the different tiers. That's not changed. That's still the same. Okay. The HSA plan is on the exact same network. It's the PPO with Aetna. The difference is that there is a $1,500 individual deductible and a $3,000 family deductible. Does anybody use or have questions about how the HSA works?
Where it says deductible on there, does that mean once you've covered your deductible, you don't pay anything for an office visit?
Correct. So this is a really, really generous HSA plan. Just like she pointed out, the $1,500 here, but when you see the rest of the way down, it just says deductible, deductible, deductible. Once your $1,500 or $3,000 is met, there's no more copays. The only copays that you have are on your prescription plan. So if you're looking for a way to set aside pre-tax dollars into an account where it's not use it or lose it, and you know that you might have a couple of doctor's appointments or a couple of prescriptions throughout the year that you might need to get, you can set aside pre-tax dollars in the savings account that this plan is allowed to have and pay for those usages pre-tax.
The $1,500?
Mm-hmm. You can also do it for your prescription copays even after you've met the $1,500. Okay. The health savings account is very similar to a flex spending account. So if you want to use it for dental, for vision, for obviously for prescriptions, crutches, durable medical equipment, things like that, anything that you can use a flex spending account for, you can use the health savings account for. The biggest difference is it's not use it or lose it. So you can build up money year after year in that account. You can get it to the point where you have a high enough balance in that account that you can put some money into some investment vehicles that are available through the account. The savings account is considered what they call a triple tax advantage account. You can put in pre-tax dollars through your paycheck. Any money that it earns through interest, either through the savings account or through the investment vehicles, is tax-free. And when you use it for qualified medical expenses, you're not paying taxes on that money either. Anybody have questions?
One more question. Again, under where it says deductible, does that mean that you pay the full doctor bill out of the deductible? So let's say it's a $600 doctor visit. Normally it would be a $50 copay. Does it take $600 out of the deductible then?
That's a very good question. No, you're still getting discounted rates. So in order to use the plan to your fullest advantage, when you go to the doctor on an HSA, they're not supposed to ask you for a copay. Some of them still do. They won't get out of that habit, but they're not supposed to ask you for a copay. What's supposed to happen when you go to the doctor, you present your card, they send the bill over to Aetna, and Aetna sees that they charge $150 for a sick visit. Aetna does all their discounting and says, no, you're allowed to charge them $70. You'll get an explanation of benefits from Aetna that says the $150 the doctor tried to charge, the discounts that have been applied, and that $70 is the final amount that they're saying that you can be charged for that service. At that point in time, then the doctor should be billing you for that $70, not that original amount that they charged to Aetna. So you're going to want to make sure that you have an explanation of benefits before you pay your doctor bill to make sure that you're not overpaying for that service. Okay? So you'll have the ability to check all of your claims documentation information in the Aetna portal. So if you missed that piece of paper in the mail, throw it away, thought it was junk mail or something like that, they'll all be housed in your Aetna portal. So if you ever need to go back, if you get a bill from your doctor's office and you're like, wait, I don't recall getting anything from Aetna about that, you can go log in online and see. And if they have not created an explanation of benefits for that visit yet, don't pay that bill yet. Okay? Does everybody get that the health savings account is a separate part of the medical plan? So you have a high deductible medical plan that has to meet a few rules in order for the savings account to be allowed to be attached to it. There are IRS rules. One of the biggest changes between the other high deductible plan and the HSA account is that all prescriptions fall under that $1,500 deductible. In the higher deductible plan that I'm going to show in a minute, those prescriptions don't fall under that, but it does not qualify to have the savings account. Okay? So there's a couple little caveats there. 125 Company is going to be the HSA vendor this year. If anybody's enrolled in it right now, you have PayFlex. We're going to deal with all the rollover for the accounts behind the scenes for you guys. Another thing to think about with these accounts, if you are retiring anytime soon, or you're going to move out of state and you're not going to be working with Carnegie anymore, and you have money set aside in these accounts, they're your account. So wherever you go, it's your money to use, whether you're working here at Carnegie or not. If you're moving to a new employer and they offer a qualified high deductible plan, you can continue contributing money to that account. If your new medical plan doesn't meet the requirements to have an HSA, you can still use that money, you just can't put more money in the account. So that money is yours to take with you and use for medical expenses, however you need to after you've put it in the account. A lot of people like to save it up. Some people think of it as like a healthcare 401k or an IRA. The rules are pretty similar to the way an IRA works with your annual maximums of contributions and things like that. The biggest caveat is you have to use it for medical expenses only. If you use it for something else, you'll pay taxes on that money, and then it's a 20% penalty on top of the taxes. So you really want to make sure, and this is a self-policed plan. It's not like an FSA where you have to send in receipts to show what you used it for. The only time that you would ever have to show what you've used it for is if you're audited by the IRS. So you really want to make sure that you keep your records. So when you're using the plan, keep all of your documentation, your EOBs, your doctor bills for whatever you use the money for, okay?
What if you have money on this account and leave the country?
It's still yours.
But you still pay the 25% penalty? Or
No, it stays in the, if you leave it in the account and use it for medical expenses, there's no penalties and no taxes. So the account will remain active if you leave the company.
Let's say if he's moved to France or something.
That is something you're going to have to talk to an accountant about. I'm not sure how that would work.
So the difference from this to the flexible account is that this can be kept until whatever.
Until forever.
So if you die, can you transfer it to your...
You can select beneficiaries for the account, yes.
My question is, can you have both a flexible spending and a HSA?
It's a great question. We are setting it up this year that you can have both. There are some special rules surrounding that. So if you do decide to have, go in the HSA plan and you want to have a flex spending account, the flex spending account is called a limited purpose flexible spending account, meaning that you can use it for dental and vision only. One of the rules surrounding HSA plans is that you can't have other insurance in place, and they consider a flex spending account to be other insurance. They don't want any other medical coverage to be available under this plan. So you can have a limited flex spending account that only covers dental and vision. So there's going to be some planning on your part if you decide to take part in both of those, to make sure that if you do go get a new pair of glasses or something like that, make sure you're using your flex account, not your HSA account. But the flex will still be use it or lose it, so you want to plan carefully with that.
Can you charge your to the HSA your overseas medical bills? Because I've done medical bills through FSA. I charge like.
And it worked?
Yeah, it worked.
If they accepted it, everything
But that's
that's
FSA.
right, everything that's accepted by FSA is supposed to be accepted by HSA. They both fall under the IRS Section 213D rules.
So I'm sort of new with HSA, but so let's say I go to the doctor's office and after all that process and they send me a bill. So is there like a card or?
Yes.
Also, we use the card and they just deduct it automatically from
Correct.
our application.
Yes. So a lot of times when you get a doctor's bill, you can write the card number in or even call and give them the card number over the phone. You can use the card for that, and then when you go to the pharmacy, you can swipe the card at the pharmacy as well.
It doesn't contain that bill, just in case.
Correct. Yep. Keep your records. Yep.
So I guess I'm not clear what the health savings account is. Is that, so if I pay for this, I pay for the basic plan monthly rate. Is there an additional like flex savings account type money coming out of my paycheck that I'm saving up to pay those first $1,500?
You have the ability to do that. You're not required to, but you do have the ability to set aside pre-tax dollars out of your paycheck into the health savings account to pay for your medical expenses.
And that's basically just the prescription drugs and the deductible.
Correct.
And then after that, I pretty much, so I would never need to put away more than the deductible plus what I think I'm going to spend on prescriptions.
Correct. Under that plan, yes. Any other questions on the health savings account? So the third plan that we're offering this year is, again, what we're calling the catastrophic plan. It has a $3,000 deductible for individual and $6,000 for family, so it's much higher than the HSA plan. The biggest difference why this plan is not eligible for the savings account, again, is that the prescriptions do not fall underneath of that $3,000 or $6,000 deductible. You would just have a straight copay for prescriptions. The copays are a little higher, 20, 60, and 100 for the different tiers. You would have just a straight copay to go to your primary care or to a specialist office also. The deductible doesn't apply to that. Okay? So if you guys, I know you have the rate, do they have the rate sheets? So you guys have the rate sheets with your packets. You can see that there's a big difference in the premium deductions from your paychecks between this plan and the PPO plan. A big difference on this one, it's in network only, but it's the exact same large national Aetna network that you have on the other two plans. So if you never go out of network anyway, it shouldn't affect you. Our thinking behind adding this plan is that there are a lot of people that rarely use the medical benefits. And so if you can have a lower premium coming out of your paycheck but still have medical coverage and only have to pay a copay to go to the doctor or get a prescription, you know, But the big thing to remember is that you don't have access to that savings account. Okay. Any questions on the 3 plans? No, it's a lot of information. Okay. So we're going to move on to the dental plan. We're still with Delta Dental. We still have the PPO plan, which most people are enrolled in the PPO. We made some enhancements to it this year. We have adult orthodontia included. That was a big win. A lot of people were asking for that. And then also on the major care, which is usually like your crowns, root canals, things like that, we have increased the benefit to the plan covering 60%, which is pretty unheard of. Most employers are not increasing any benefits at all whatsoever. And this benefit in particular, we usually see somewhere in like the 35 or 40% range of coverage, so this is a really generous benefit. We also increased the annual maximum to $1,500, and then the ortho is $2,000. Okay, so as a parent, if you have a child on the dental plan also, and you decide you want braces, you both have $2,000 to get braces. Okay. And then we have the DHMO plan, which is in-network only Delta option, and that hasn't changed at all. That's the same plan. Okay. For IMED, we have moved our vision benefit over to IMED this year, and as I said in the beginning, there's a couple of perks that I think are a big deal that I want to make you guys aware of. Out front there's a bunch of literature. There's a green flyer for IMED, there's a big 0 on it. If you go to Target Optical or Sears Optical, you can get your frames at no cost through the IMED program. And you'll see on here it has Ray-Ban and Coach and some other DKNY. It's brand name frames. It's not just, you know, the no-name frames off in the corner. So it's a really big deal. It's a special deal for Carnegie. So you want to make sure if you intend to utilize this that you do get a flyer or take a flyer with you. It's got a code on here to use when you go to Sears or Target Optical to get the $0 frames. Another nice perk is the orange flyer that they have. You can get up to $50 off at Sunglass Hut for non-prescription sunglasses just by having IMED as your vision insurance. So you can go in, pick out whatever sunglasses, tell them you have IMED, they'll look you up in the system and they'll apply your discount. So that's just from having vision insurance and not having to do anything else special to get it. You do have discounts on LASIK, and you have discounts for any amounts that are over the allowances, for instance, for frames. Say you go to a place that's not Target or Sears and the frames you pick out are $150. That $30 overage, you still get 20% off. So you're still getting discounts even though you're going beyond the allowances that are listed in here. Okay. Any questions on the vision plan?
So previously the vision was covered by the Aetna, and so now we would be paying for a separate vision care?
Yes. And the premiums are on that form?
Right.
Okay.
So the vision's not covered with the Aetna insurance now?
No.
If people were charged for the vision, it just wasn't broken out, but
It was bundled into it, right?
bundled it, but it was,
So this IMAD, you get like free checkup or anything, or what?
$10. It's a $10 for an exam.
it's used or.
Anywhere. Any of the places that are in the IMED networks. And they work with all of the big box retailers, but then they also have a huge network of independent eye doctor offices that they work with as well. So I have a slide up here on flex spending for people that are enrolled in the flex spending account. I know we just did an open enrollment and you did a short plan year enrollment for your flex spending. We're restarting the flex spending starting 1/1, so everything's going to match up 1/1. So you're gonna need to remake your elections, even though you just made elections a couple months ago. This time you're gonna budget out for 12 months instead of the shortened, I think it was 4 or 5 months that we did before. Okay, they increased the maximum this year to $2,600. So they bumped it $50 from last year's maximum. And you still have the $5,000 dependent care option. Okay. 125 Company is our vendor. They've been our vendor, so there's no change there. And then we have the transit and parking accounts that are available. Carnegie does contribute to those on your behalf if you sign up for them. And the vendor is called Commuter Direct, so you'll have 2 different cards if you do the medical FSA and the transit. There'll be 2 different cards there. Carnegie also contributes $20 a month towards bicycle commuting, which I have not had any other employers do that. So. One thing to remember with your FSAs, you have to re-enroll every year. There's no such thing as doing a passive or a rollover enrollment. So we need you to go in and make your elections into ADP. And if you've never used the flex spending account before but are thinking about signing up for it and you have no idea how much money to set aside, you can go into your Aetna portal and look at what you spent last year. See if you're on maintenance prescriptions and you spent $120 throughout the year on your medications. Set $120 aside, and at least you're getting your medications with pre-tax dollars, so you're going to save somewhere around 25%. So, take advantage of those little places of savings everywhere you can. Your life and disability benefits have not changed. There's nothing new for you to do with this. It's just a reminder that they're there and that you have them. For anybody that did not participate in I think it was the July open enrollment period for the voluntary life, you can enroll again. You can enroll now. You will have to fill out a little bit of medical underwriting form. So you'll have to get that information from the HR department, but you can enroll in that now if that's something that you missed previously. Your long-term disability, again, it didn't change. We just wanted to throw it up there and let you guys know that it's there and something that Carnegie pays for you. Now we're getting into the exciting stuff. This is the voluntary benefits. This is all the new stuff that we've added in this year. So we've added in with Guardian. They do your life and disability plans right now. There's this pretty boring looking letter out there on the table. This is the information, some brief information on the critical illness and accident plans that we're offering through Guardian. The critical illness plan, you can enroll in through ADP. There's no medical underwriting being asked for, okay? So you basically just say, yes, I want it, and which plan do you want? You can get a $10,000 benefit plan or a $20,000 benefit plan. And the way it works, if you are diagnosed with any of the illnesses that they cover under the plan, usually it's major illnesses, stroke, heart attack, cancer, ALS, things like that. If you're diagnosed with any of those, you can get a lump sum payout of $10,000 or $20,000, whichever one you elect to enroll in, okay? And it's not a one-time payout and then the policy's no good anymore. They do have a recurring payout benefit, okay? So for certain things, like I think skin cancer, they won't do a recurring payout, but for pretty much everything else, if you have a certain type of cancer, it goes into remission, and 2 years later you're re-diagnosed with it again, you would get a payout both times. So for people that have family history of heart disease and cancer and things like that, it's something that gives them a little bit of peace of mind to know that if they do have big medical bills that'll pop up because of this, they'll be able to get a decent lump sum benefit coming their way to help pay for some of those treatments. For the accident plan, this is exactly what it sounds like. If you get hurt, you can get a payment from the policy. Basically, stitches, if you sprain your ankle, if you break your arm, if you have to do an ambulance ride, all those sorts of things, the policy will pay you out different amounts depending on what the actual service used is. People that it's really a good idea to have is people with kids. Kids are always falling off their bikes, busting their chin open, getting stitches, breaking their arms, things like that. You would be able to get payouts from this benefit to either help pay for your deductible or help pay for prescription costs or, I don't know, physical therapy if they have to go to physical therapy afterwards, things like that. Also, if you have kids that are playing school sports, there's a 20% increase in the benefit payout for any injury that occurs while they're playing that sport. It stops at 18 though, they don't cover collegiate sports. Okay? So that again is something that you can enroll in through ADP. And you would select if you're covering you, your spouse, you and your kids, however you want to do that coverage. Our next new benefit is the MetLife Legal Plan. That's why you guys got your Snoopies. So the way the legal plan works is $22.50 a month. It is a payroll deduction. It gives you access to a network of 14,000 attorneys nationwide, and it can work with issues ranging from traffic incidents all the way through to immigration help. So it's a great benefit to have on hand if you know that, say, you want to get a will or estate written up. You can do that through this program. It's a great benefit to have in place if you do have things like that that you need to get done, kind of get all your affairs in order, because in that way you're paying the $22.50 a month versus the $350 or however much it costs an hour for a lawyer. You're paying, it's almost like having a lawyer on retainer by paying that $22 a month. That again is something you would enroll in through ADP. You either elect or waive it. And it's only one charge, so if you enroll and you have kids and a spouse, all of them are covered under the same rate. Okay.
Where are the rates for these voluntary plans?
They will be out in ADP, and then LaRonda and Yolanda have tables for them that they can send out to you guys. For the critical illness and the accident, it depends on how old you are, which plan you want, and who you're going to cover, so there's a big table. Another one of the new benefits we're offering is LifeLock, and that is, I'm sure you all know, identity theft and protection. This flyer out front does actually have the costs on it for the 3 different levels of the plans. Okay, and this again is another payroll deduction that you can enroll in. This is one plan that we cannot do through ADP enrollment because they ask a couple of questions that ADP doesn't capture. So there is an actual enrollment form. If you guys are interested in this, you can get the form from HR. But basically, this gives you protection if, you know, I've had, I can't even tell you how many times in the last couple of years where I've had to get new cards reissued to me because while I'm standing here in DC, somehow my card's being used in California. So when that sort of stuff happens, their goal is to, one, protect you from it happening, but when it does happen, then they get involved. They help with filing the police reports, and they help with cleaning up any of the records, your credit reports, anything else that may have, your identity may have been used for that is going to mess you up in the future. They help to get all of that straightened out and cleaned up. You can do coverage for you and your spouse. They also have coverage for kids available. Apparently it's quite a common thing for kids' Social Security numbers to be stolen. So they have coverage where you can cover your children as well available. And again, that's going to be a separate form that you actually have to fill out. That won't be through ADP. And then we have pet insurance. I know that pet insurance was kind of heavily asked for this year. So we have 2 options. We have VPI, which is through Nationwide, and then we have Healthy Paws. VPI is payroll deducted, okay, and this is the flyer out front for them. This also you will not be able to enroll through ADP because they have to find out what kind of animal you have, the age of your animal, and then there's 3 different plan levels. You can do wellness, you can do where it's just normal, like major medical insurance for your pet, and then you can do a combo of wellness and major medical. So there's 3 levels that you can choose from, and then they need to gather some more information about your pet. What happens is they gather all that information, and then they get it over to the payroll team to then do the payroll deductions for you after open enrollment's over with. Okay. Healthy Paws is going to be not payroll deducted. That is you call and get a quote directly from them. They will direct bill you for it, but it's something that's available through Carnegie. They, I believe, will take animals that are older than BPI will take. BPI cuts off around 9 years old. Healthy Paws will take older animals. You have actually 2 employee assistant program options. You have one through Guardian that's available to you through your life and disability plans. Then you also have one through Optimum Health. Through both programs, you have access to 24/7 website resources. You have access to phone counseling. Through your Optimum Health, you actually have access to face-to-face counseling. Okay, so 3 visits. 3 visits face-to-face through your Optimum Health plan. If it's something that you need to go see the therapist for longer than 3 visits, they'll make sure the therapist that they set you up with is actually in your network and participates with your insurance. And if you go through the program, I believe you get a slight discount too. And they'll coordinate the benefits. So we definitely have options.
Also about the employee assistant programs, keep in mind they're not just for like mental health. I found a financial planner using one. People have used them for legal assistance, for work-life balance issues, elder care resources. They really are kind of a one-stop shop for any issue that you could be dealing with.
For sure. They even do simple things that sound simple, but it takes a lot of time out of your day. If you need to get a new dishwasher, we'll do consumer comparisons for you on the different dishwashers and give you pricing and stuff. So, I mean, things that you probably would never think of. Yeah. So if there's stuff like that you have coming up and you're like, it's overwhelming and I just don't know where to even begin with how to start doing that research, I would check in with them because most of the time they have the ability to get you that information and they get it to you pretty quick. Another wonderful resource you guys have, and I totally encourage you to use it. I've had this in the past and I love this benefit, is Health Advocate. They are wonderful. They can help with elder care issues. They can also, you guys have like a complicated claim that's come through and it's not getting paid right and you've been arguing with the insurance company and things like that, you can send it to Health Advocate and they do all that for you. Honestly, you should send it to Health Advocate before you even start arguing with the insurance company because they take all of that off your plate. Another great service that they offer, say you need a new doctor and you need to do a comparison to find out that, you know, I need an orthopedist that's located in DC that has, you know, during the week, late hours, open till 8. They'll do the research for you, find the different options, and a lot of times when you're a new patient, you have to wait 3 or 4 weeks before you can get in to see the doctor. Most of the time they can get you an appointment within a week or 2. So they can get you in there faster than if you were to do the research on your own. And they'll do the research for you. You can give them all of the different credentials that you want to see. A male doctor that graduated from this college, that speaks English, that, I mean, you can seriously, you can tell them all of those parameters and they will do the research through your insurance plan to make sure that they participate with your insurance. And then they'll send you a list. And then they'll have links for websites where you can go and check like the credentials and you know how there's like some grading websites for doctors out there. They'll give you their information so that you can go and look at them before you decide which one you make your appointment with. So I totally encourage you guys to take advantage of that.
Can you use this with dental?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. You can use it for you. You can use it for your immediate family, spouse, kids. You can use it for your in-laws. So it's a really good benefit. So getting back to, well, any questions on any of those voluntary benefits or the EAP or Health Advocate? Go ahead.
The legal plan one, does that include, let's say, assistance for tax laws and things like that?
It does. They will review for audits and things like that. If you need to actually be represented in some sort of court hearing, there may be additional cost involved in that, but they will go through and do reviews and things like that for audits and those sorts of things. So again, we're going through ADP to do our enrollment. Should be kind of fresh in your guys' head because you just did it a couple months ago. This time when you log in, there is going to be, on November 15th, that's when the portal opens, there's going to be a window on the screen when you log in that says, hey, it's open enrollment, you need to make your elections. We recommend that you use the walk me through this process option that you're going to see on the screen, because that will take you through step-by-step updating your demographics, checking that all your dependents are in there properly. It'll help you or let you assign beneficiaries, show you how to do that. And then it'll take you through all of the plans, one by one, for you to make your election or waive out of it. Okay, so that one will, if you use the walk me through, you can't mess it up. Okay. Again, we're keeping the portal open until the 5th of December, so you guys will have a decent amount of time to make your decisions. We're expecting that the guides that we're mailing to your house, that they should be there the end of this week. So you'll also have all of this information in the guide to review and on hand with you when you log into ADP to make your elections. Okay. The guides will have a big navy blue stripe on the front of them, and it'll say Carnegie Benefits 2017. So when they come in the mail, it should kind of pretty much stand out as to what it is, but just wanted you to know what you're looking for. We also have a customer service team back in my office, where if you guys lose your ID card, you have quick questions about the benefits, you know, the doctor told you one thing and you're looking at this saying, that's not what this says. You know, call us up and we'll help you. For things that are like really complicated claims questions, I would recommend Health Advocate over us, because they can get a lot more done quicker just because they have faster connections in with the carriers. But so we have email and we also have phone that you can contact us by. And any of your questions that come into us, they get put in a tracking system. So you're not going to fall through the cracks. You're not going to be scribbled on a little slice of paper on somebody's desk that's going to fall on the floor. We actually track all that stuff. So we have a team back in the office for you. This information is also going to be included in your benefit guide when you get it in the mail. Does anybody have questions about any of the benefits or the process to enroll?
Sorry, I have one question. Regardless of whether you're going to change or not change, you're saying that when the open enrollment takes place, we have to go in there and just click on it, right?
Yes.
Some people expect that if they don't make any change, they don't have to go in, but everybody has to.
Everybody needs to go in this time. Yep. So we have a couple of raffle items.
Well, first of all, thanks everyone for making time to come out. As Layla said, you're going to receive information at home. Take the time to do a little bit of reading. This is the first year that we've really approached benefits from an education standpoint. So we want to make sure that everyone has what they need to make an informed decision. If you have questions, contact me, my team, Layla's team. We will get you an answer. So with that said, it's raffle time. We have two raffle items. The first one will be the Fitbit, and the second one will be a gift card. So, we're ready for this? All right. For the Fitbit.
Your lucky number has to be 318063. We have a winner.
All right, for the gift card.
1, 8, 0, 4, 5.